Mackenzie's grandparents slammed the car door shut, leaving her alone in the blistering Arizona desert, the thermometer hitting 115 degrees with no water or phone in sight. She staggered forward, her throat already parched, realizing this was their twisted punishment for catching her kissing Madison the night before. As the sun beat down mercilessly, Mackenzie's mind raced. How could the people who raised her after her parents' death abandon her like this? All because she loved a woman? The heat clawed at her skin, but it was the betrayal that burned deeper. Growing up in their conservative Phoenix home, Mackenzie had always sensed the unspoken rules: church every Sunday, no questions about the Bible's stance on sinful lifestyles. She'd hidden her feelings for years, burying crushes on girls under layers of forced smiles and pretend boyfriends. But Madison changed everything. They met at community college, in a literature class where Madison's passionate debates about queer authors lit a spark in Mackenzie's chest. One late-night study session turned into confessions, then a kiss that felt like coming home. Now that home was crumbling. Mackenzie trudged through the sand, her sneakers sinking with each step, sweat stinging her eyes. Why didn't I fight back harder? She thought. Last night, when her grandparents burst into her room, faces twisted in rage, she'd frozen. "This is an abomination," her grandfather bellowed, quoting scripture like a weapon. Her grandmother, usually the softer one, had tears in her eyes but nodded along. "We raised you better than this, Kenzie. We're taking you somewhere to think about your choices." Mackenzie had assumed a drive to talk, not this death sentence. As miles stretched endlessly, panic set in. She pictured Madison's worried texts piling up unread. "Where are you? I love you." The guilt twisted like a knife. She dragged Madison into this mess by not being careful enough. Hours blurred into agony. Mackenzie's legs buckled, and she collapsed onto the hot ground, visions of her life flashing by. The family dinners where she'd nod along to homophobic jokes to fit in. The secret dates with Madison, stolen moments in coffee shops where their hands brushed under the table. Madison, with her fierce independence, had grown up in a liberal family that accepted her orientation without fanfare. "You don't have to hide with me," she'd whispered once, pulling Mackenzie close. But hiding was all Mackenzie knew. Now, exposed and alone, she wondered if survival even mattered. "If I die here, will they regret it? Or will they call it God's will?" A distant rumble snapped her back, tires on gravel. A park ranger's jeep crested the horizon, spotting her slumped form. As he rushed over with water, Mackenzie gulped it down, tears mixing with the liquid. "Who did this to you?" he asked, radioing for help. She whispered the truth, the words tasting like ash. By nightfall, she was in a hospital bed, for fluids reviving her body but not her spirit. The police arrived, taking statements, but her grandparents' arrest felt hollow. They claimed it was tough love, a lesson to straighten her out. Social media exploded with the story. Hashtags like desert abandonment trending, strangers debating if family bonds could justify such cruelty. Madison burst into the room hours later, eyes red from crying, enveloping Mackenzie in a hug that smelled of home. "I thought I'd lost you," she sobbed. Mackenzie clung back, but doubt crept in. This ordeal had cracked open wounds she'd long ignored. How could she build a life with Madison when her foundation was built on lies and fear? As nurses bustled around, Mackenzie's inner turmoil raged. "I've survived the desert, but can I survive the fallout?" The next days brought interrogations, not just from authorities but from her own conscience. Friends rallied, offering support, but the whispers in her mind wouldn't quiet. Was loving Madison worth this price? The trial loomed like a storm. Her grandparents, once pillars of her world, now defendants in orange jumpsuits. Mackenzie testified, voice steady but heart fracturing. "They said they loved me, but love doesn't leave someone to die." The courtroom gasped. Her grandmother wept openly. Yet, in quiet moments, Mackenzie replayed memories, them teaching her to ride a bike, baking cookies on rainy days. Betrayal warred with grief. Madison held her hand through it all, whispering encouragements, but Mackenzie felt the weight of choices pressing down. "If I forgive them, am I betraying myself? If I don't, am I losing the only family I have left?" As weeks turned to months, the conviction came. Guilty on endangerment charges. Sentencing brought hollow victory. Her grandparents got probation, community service preaching family values. Irony bit deep. Mackenzie moved in with Madison, their small apartment a sanctuary, but shadows lingered. Late nights she'd stare at the ceiling, questioning every decision. Madison's patience wore thin at times, sensing the distance. "We're in this together," she'd say. But Mackenzie wondered if together meant sacrificing her identity to fit societal molds. The desert had stripped her bare, forcing a reckoning with who she truly was. Social pressures mounted. At work, colleagues offered pitying looks. Online, trolls accused her of faking it for attention. "Lesbians always play the victim," one comment read, slicing through her resolve. Mackenzie's therapy sessions unpacked layers, internalized homophobia from years of suppression. "You deserve love without conditions," her counselor urged. But doubt persisted. "Am I strong enough to claim it?" Madison pushed for couples counseling, fearing the rift widening. Their arguments escalated, raw and revealing. "I can't keep fighting your ghosts," Madison snapped one night. Mackenzie recoiled, realizing the desert wasn't the only abandonment she'd face. Mackenzie woke to the sound of Madison brewing coffee, the aroma of fragile peace offering after last night's fight. They sat across the kitchen table, silence heavy as unspoken regrets. "I don't want to lose you," Mackenzie finally said, voice cracking. Madison reached over, fingers intertwining. "Then let me in." All the way. But letting in meant confronting the fractures. Family disownment echoing in every holiday alone. Friends drifting away under judgmental glares. Work became a battleground. At her marketing job, whispers followed Mackenzie down hallways. "That's the girl from the news," colleagues murmured, mixing sympathy with suspicion. Her boss pulled her aside one day. "We're proud of you standing up, but keep personal drama out of the office." As if she could compartmentalize the trauma. Promotions passed her by, subtle biases at play. "Am I paranoid? Or is this the price of visibility?" She pondered during lunch breaks, staring at her uneaten sandwich. Madison, a graphic designer, faced her own hurdles. Clients canceling after learning about their relationship. "Bigots everywhere," she'd rant, but Mackenzie saw the toll in her weary eyes. Family ties unraveled further. Aunts and uncles called, some supportive, others echoing her grandparents' disdain. "You're tearing the family apart," one uncle accused over the phone. Mackenzie hung up, trembling. The inheritance her parents left, managed by her grandparents, was frozen in legal limbo. Financial strain added fuel to the fire. Bills piled up, forcing overtime that stole time from Madison. "We need to talk about us," Madison said one evening, setting down a stack of envelopes. Mackenzie's heart sank. Talks like this rarely ended well. The conversation spiraled. Madison confessed her fears. "I love you, but this is consuming you." "Us." Mackenzie lashed out, defenses up. "You think I want this? My whole life upended because I dared to be honest." Tears flowed as old wounds reopened. Madison's own backstory surfaced. Coming out in high school, parents' acceptance making her blind to Mackenzie's deeper scars. "I thought love would fix it," Madison admitted softly. But love wasn't a bandage, it was a mirror reflecting cracks. A turning point came at a support group for LGBTQ survivors. Mackenzie attended alone at first, hesitant. Stories shared there mirrored her own: abandonment, rejection, resilience. One woman spoke of forgiving her family, finding peace. Another cut ties, thriving in chosen family. Mackenzie absorbed it all, inner debate raging. Forgiveness or freedom? Back home, she shared with Madison vulnerability bridging the gap. They cried together, promises renewed. But doubt lingered like a shadow. Social media amplified the drama. Activists reached out, wanting Mackenzie's story for campaigns. She agreed to an interview, voice shaking on camera. "Love shouldn't come with conditions," she declared. The video went viral, praise mixing with hate mail. "You're going to hell," one message read. Madison monitored her accounts, blocking trolls, but the invasion felt personal. "Is this worth it?" Mackenzie whispered one night. Madison pulled her close. "You are." Yet, betrayal struck from unexpected quarters. A childhood friend, Sarah, leaked private texts to a tabloid, twisting words for sensationalism. Lesbian drama. Desert survivors' secret affairs. Headlines screamed betrayal. Mackenzie confronted Sarah. "Why?" Sarah's response chilled her. "You changed." This isn't the Kenzie I knew. The loss stung deeper than the desert heat. Friendships built on facades crumbling under truth. Madison's family offered refuge, inviting them for dinner. Warmth enveloped Mackenzie, a stark contrast to her own kin. Madison's mom hugged her. Your family now. Gratitude warred with envy. Why couldn't mine be like this? Internal conflict peaked during a heated argument back home. I feel like I'm always second to your pain, Madison confessed. Mackenzie recoiled. Am I selfish for hurting? The night ended in separate beds, silence deafening. Therapy intensified. Mackenzie delved into mauled ethics. Was her grandparents' act unforgivable, or a product of their upbringing? Everyone pays a price, her therapist said. Mackenzie nodded, but the cost felt uneven. Madison suggested a road trip, to reclaim the desert on their terms. Reluctant, Mackenzie agreed, packing water and resolve. As they drove, conversations flowed, dreams, fears, futures. I choose you, Mackenzie said under starry skies. Madison smiled, but tension simmered beneath. Upon return, a letter arrived from her grandmother. We were wrong. Please forgive us. Mackenzie stared at it, torn. Acceptance or rejection? The decision loomed, a moral crossroads. If I forgive, do I validate their hate? If not, do I carry bitterness forever? Madison urged caution. Think about us first. But us felt fragile, balanced on Mackenzie's healing. The letter burned in Mackenzie's hand like a live wire. Her grandmother's shaky script pleading for reconciliation. We've prayed, sought counseling. We miss you. Mackenzie paced the apartment, Madison watching warily. What if it's a trap? Madison asked. Mackenzie's mind whirled. Trap or genuine remorse? Years of indoctrination clashed with newfound freedom, leaving her adrift in ethical quicksand. She met them at a neutral cafe, heart pounding. Her grandfather looked frail, eyes downcast. We thought we were saving you, he murmured. Her grandmother reached out. We love you, Kenzie. Love? The word twisted ironically. Mackenzie's response was measured. Love doesn't abandon. Tears fell as stories unfolded. Their own repressed lives, societal pressures shaping bigotry. Empathy flickered, but anger roared. You almost killed me, she said flatly. They nodded, no defenses. Walking away, Mackenzie felt the weight. Forgiveness as a choice, not obligation. Back home, Madison listened, then exploded. They don't deserve you. The outburst revealed cracks. Madison's fear of losing Mackenzie to family pull. I'm not going back, Mackenzie assured, but doubt seeded. Late nights, she'd replay the meeting, questioning motives. Was their change real or survival tactic post-conviction? Society's lens complicated it. Media painted her as unforgiving if she rejected, weak if she accepted. Work tensions escalated. A coworker outed as homophobic made snide remarks. Family knows best. Mackenzie reported it, but HR dragged feet, citing free speech. Frustration boiled. Am I fighting alone? Madison suggested quitting, but finances screamed no. We build our life, Madison said, but her optimism grated against Mackenzie's cynicism. A betrayal hit closer. Madison's ex, Riley, resurfaced via text. Heard about the drama. You okay? Innocent at first, but messages turned flirtatious. Madison showed Mackenzie immediately. I blocked her. Trust wavered. Mackenzie's paranoia spiked. Why now? She demanded. Madison sighed. Jealousy? I don't know. The incident unearthed insecurities, Madison's past relationships, all out and proud, versus Mackenzie's closeted history. Am I enough? Mackenzie whispered internally. They attended a pride event, seeking solidarity. Crowds cheered, but Mackenzie felt exposed. Flashbacks to the desert triggering anxiety. Madison held her. We're safe. But safety felt illusory. A confrontation arose. A protester yelled slurs, police intervening. Mackenzie froze, old fears resurfacing. This is our reality, she thought bitterly. Madison pulled her away, but the damage lingered. Therapy delved deeper. Your choices define you, the counselor said. Mackenzie explored mauled paths. Reconnect with family, risking regression? Or sever, embracing isolation? Madison joined a session, tensions airing. I feel like a crutch, Madison admitted. Mackenzie recoiled. You're my partner. But partnership demanded equality, not dependency. Social circles shifted. Old friends distanced, new ones from the community embraced. A mentor and older lesbian couple shared wisdom. Family isn't blood, it's choice. Inspired, Mackenzie volunteered at a youth shelter, helping queer teens. Seeing their struggles mirrored hers fueled purpose, but exhaustion set in. "I'm giving too much," she confessed to Madison one night. The climax built with a family gathering invite. Her uncle hosted, grandparents attending. "Come heal," the email read. Mackenzie debated endlessly. Madison opposed. "They hurt you." But curiosity won. Mackenzie went alone, a test of resolve. Arriving, greetings were awkward. Conversations tiptoed around the elephant. Then her grandfather spoke. "We're proud of who you are." "Lie or truth?" Mackenzie pressed. "Proud? You tried to erase me." Admissions followed, regret, therapy, unlearning hate.
Tirs flawed, une tentative.
Leaving, Mackenzie felt conflicted. High. It was. "Okay," she told Madison. But Madison's reaction chilled. "You're choosing them over us." Argument erupted, accusations flying. "I'm trying to heal," Mackenzie yelled. Madison stormed out. "Heal without me then." Alone, Mackenzie crumbled. Did I betray her by seeking closure? Days blurred in separation. Mackenzie reflected. Choices have prices. Family reconciliation costing her relationship? She reached out to Madison. "I need you." Silence. The void amplified inner turmoil. Am I doomed to lose everyone? Madison's absence carved a hollow in Mackenzie's chest, days stretching into agonizing solitude. She wandered the apartment, touching remnants of their life. Madison's sketchbook, half-finished drawings of them together. Why did I push her away? The question looped endlessly. Guilt a constant companion. Work suffered. Focus shattered, mistakes piling up. Her boss warned. Get it together. But together felt impossible without Madison. She dove into self-reflection, journaling raw thoughts. Love demands sacrifice, but whose? Pages filled with debates, societal norms pressuring conformity, personal ethics clashing. Reconnecting with family felt like progress, yet at what cost? Calls to her grandmother increased, tentative bridges built. Tell me about Madison, her grandmother asked once. Mackenzie hesitated, then shared. She's my world. Admission bridged gaps, but betrayal's scar throbbed. Madison finally texted. Need space. Mackenzie respected it, but agony mounted. Friends mediated, urging reconciliation. You both deserve happiness, one said. Mackenzie attended group therapy alone, stories of breakups resonating. Sometimes love isn't enough, a member shared. Mackenzie rejected it internally. It has to be. A surprise visit from her grandparents tested boundaries. They arrived with apologies and a check, releasing inheritance funds. For your future, they said. Mackenzie accepted warily. This doesn't erase the past. Conversations deepened, unearthing family secrets. Her grandfather's closeted brother, shunned decades ago. We repeated history, he admitted tearfully. Empathy surged, but caution held. Change takes time. News of Madison dating someone new crushed her. Rumors from mutual friends. Jealousy flared. How could she move on? Confrontation brewed. Mackenzie tracked her to a cafe. Is it true? She demanded. Madison's eyes widened. It's casual. You pushed me away. Words tumbled, hurt accusations, truths. I was scared, Mackenzie confessed. Of losing you to them. Madison softened. You already lost me by not choosing us. The exchange forced reckoning. Mackenzie realized her indecision as betrayal, to Madison, to herself. I choose you, she said firmly. Madison hesitated. Prove it. Boundaries set. No family contact until trust rebuilt. Mackenzie agreed, cutting ties temporarily. Painful but necessary. The price of love, she thought. Rebuilding commenced slowly. Dates rekindled sparks. Conversations peeled layers. Madison shared vulnerabilities. I feared you'd regress, Mackenzie assured. I'm forward now. Intimacy returned, emotional not physical, building trust. But society intruded. A workplace promotion denied, bias evident. Sue them, Madison urged. Mackenzie filed a complaint, standing firm. Victory came, settlement, apology. Empowerment surged. Choices shaped destiny. Family reached out, confused by silence. Mackenzie explained, healing on my terms. Her grandmother's response, we understand. Respect earned but distance maintained. Inner peace flickered, balancing love and self. High drama peaked at a community event. Mackenzie spoke publicly, story inspiring others. Madison beamed beside her. But a heckler shouted, family first. Chaos ensued, security intervening. In the aftermath, Mackenzie questioned, visibility's cost? Madison held her. Worth it together. As months passed, stability grew. They moved to a new city, fresh start. Jobs improved, friends supportive. Yet scars reminded. Desert survival, family rift, relationship strain. Mackenzie pondered ethics nightly. Right and wrong blur in love's gray. A final confrontation loomed. Grandparents' health declined. Mackenzie visited, Madison's blessing. Forgive for you, Madison said. At the bedside, words exchanged. Regrets, love professed. Closure without full reconciliation. Leaving, Mackenzie felt lighter. Choices paid, growth earned. Mackenzie and Madison settled into their Seattle apartment, rain pattering against windows like a soothing rhythm to their renewed life. Mornings brought shared coffee, evenings deep talks. But echoes of the past lingered, nightmares of the desert, calls from family testing boundaries. How's the balance? Madison asked one day. Mackenzie smiled faintly. Precarious but ours. Work flourished in the progressive city. Mackenzie led diversity initiatives, turning pain into purpose. Madison's art thrived. Pieces depicting queer resilience selling well. Success tasted sweet, but humility grounded them. We paid dearly, Mackenzie reflected internally. Social circles expanded, allies outweighing adversaries. Yet online hate persisted. Anonymous threats reminding of societal undercurrents. A pivotal moment arrived with a family wedding invite. Her cousin's grandparents attending. Go if you want, Madison said neutrally. Mackenzie debated. Attend and risk regression? Decline and sever forever? Ethics weighed heavy. Duty versus self-preservation. She chose attendance with Madison by her side. United front, Madison agreed. The event buzzed with tension. Relatives whispered. Grandparents approached cautiously. Proud of you, her grandfather said. Mackenzie nodded. Thanks to survival.
Conversation flaude et ligne tentative.
Madison charmed, diffusing awkwardness. But a toast revealed fractures, her uncle's subtle jab at alternative lifestyles. Mackenzie stood. Love is love. Silence fell, then applause from some. Empowerment coursed, voice found, price paid. Post-wedding? Reflections de Paned. Did I compromise? Mackenzie asked Madison on the flight home. Madison squeezed her hand. You claimed space. Inner monologue swirled. Boundaries blur but integrity holds. Challenges continued. A health scare, Madison's minor surgery, tested resilience. Mackenzie nursed her, roles reversing. I almost lost you once, Mackenzie whispered. Madison smiled. Not going anywhere. Vulnerability bonded them tighter. Society's shifts influenced, laws evolving, acceptance growing. But personal battles raged. Mackenzie published a memoir excerpt, raw and revealing. Reviews mixed. Inspirational or divisive. She embraced debate. Truth provokes. As years hinted at permanence, rings discussed, futures planned. Mackenzie pondered the journey. Desert abandonment sparked chain reactions. Betrayals faced, choices made, damages healed partially. Worth it? She asked herself nightly. In quiet moments, gratitude bloomed. For Madison's steadfastness, self-discovery's gifts. Yet, questions lingered. Families change genuine? Society's progress enough? The story culminates in a reflective dinner, toasting survival. Laughter mixes with tears, love prevailing amid scars. Was Mackenzie right to forgive her family? Or did it undermine the gravity of their betrayal?